right to tell me to. Do you understand? I don't want my kid being learned this. None of these people do either.
You don't scare me.
It's pointless even talking about anything.
Yeah, they're delusional.
Yeah,
they're delusional.
Dude.
Yeah.
They're delusional.
How ignorant is that? How ignorant is that? You mad?
Yeah, don't talk anymore.
You mad?
Cut it off right now.
Black lives matter. Your grandparents. You mad because your grandparents stole my people and brought them to this land? We don't want to be here. But now since we here, ain't nobody talking to you, Marjorie Green Taylor.
Nobody's talking.
Hey, now since we here, we gonna fight for our equal rights, and that's all that I want.
You have equal rights. Yeah, you do. You have equal rights.
Bullshit. What the hell are you talking
You're not
about?
educated on it, man.
White
You don't
male
know.
fragile ego is telling you that. I'm telling you
No.
that my
We
kids.
have set laws. We have a constitution. We have a Bill of Rights. We fought a civil war. This is the only country who has.
We do not have equal rights. My kids are being called an N-word.
What other country fought a civil war, you idiot? Which ones?
What does that have to do with equal rights?
Because we fought for that. 700 people died for you. 700,000.
See what happens? It turns into this. You know, always, because, you know,
Study it.
You know, like that conflict
Read it.
goes nowhere.
Indoctrinated
It doesn't. It just turns into this stuff more words.
Heart.
I live a black life. I live a black life.
You live an American life if you're in America. That's an American life. We're all equal. All lives matter equally. All lives matter equally.
You've been quiet this whole time.
No, listen, I fought for this country. What's that?
I don't have to listen to nothing.
Yeah, you don't have to listen to you either, but you can hear me. You can hear me, and your kids can hear me. They all are equal in this country. It is equal. It is. You can work hard. You can work hard just like everyone else and be successful as you want to be.
Black men respect you. We don't have equal rights. Fuck you mean? And we got Proud Boy Jacob here and shit. I ain't no American, so what you see me as a black person, you see that I don't have equal rights. I'm not an American. So you should have had your people not steal us from our land. This is stolen land. This is stolen land. Stolen land, stolen people. It ain't no propaganda. Trump was propaganda. Trump was propaganda. What do you mean? Trump was propaganda. Marjorie Green Taylor. Trump was propaganda. You being down here is racist. You being down here is racist. You being down here protesting this is racist.
So we're here in Gresham, Oregon, at the Center for Advanced Learning. The board for the Center for Advanced Learning has taken a vote. I believe they just voted it down, but it was to put LGBTQ and BLM flags up in the classroom. So that is why we're here, so you know.
I apologize to all of the students who have to experience this. That huge gesture by our board in trying to present a more inclusive perspective was inspiring at first. I was like, oh, maybe
Black Lives Matter. And until you recognize that Black Lives Matter,
I love black people. You don't even know what you're talking about.
why are you here?
We're my children.
Love black people. You mad that a Black Lives Matter flag is going to be
We all should love America. We should get together, sit down and have a cup of coffee. We're not doing talk. We're not doing nothing, go nowhere. Why don't you just sit and talk and we can agree or disagree with all that?
I'll tell you something. If I heard my neighbor call my other neighbor that N-word, I would probably have my wife probably was restrained. Okay, that stuff is uncalled for in the field we live in. I served in the Marine Corps for 6 years. 4 of them also brothers are brothers. That's right. Yeah. And we were all so when back and forth when they're saying, hey, you know, this racist stuff. I wasn't raised that way. Okay, I don't agree with everybody on a straight level razor's edge that could be on this side of the street right now. And that's okay because we're all individuals. I was my dad was white, my mom was white. I was raised in a lower class family out of the Mass.
You made it out okay, huh?
Yeah.
How'd things work out for you?
Good. I'm glad I did what you said.
You did?
Yeah. Well, kind of both of us did, but good. It was good.
Good.
Yeah.
Right on. And he paid into his savings for that education. But what I was never taught to see.
If we're incapable of the order, then you'll be expelled from the meeting.
Have never followed boundaries. And if you want to start to follow Robert's rules, that is something that you are allowed to do, but we have to
I see everybody as American.
I understand that
That's how I see it.
agree that we operate by that, and that we've been operated by that by the beginning of the religion. That has never happened. I just want to point that out. I understand that it's your goal, but you need to understand Robert's rules of order before you say that we're operating by it.
Joe Dimmer's over here.
You're not operating by it.
Putting it in, putting in the work.
None of us have been operated by it.
Then you're in violation of your own policy.
You're in violation of your policy.
Thank you, Dr. Towers, for bringing it forward 10 months into your tenure. That's super helpful. Thank you.
And you've been here for 4 years and you still have not learned how to operate by it.
Right. But what I'm saying is me again.
How you doing? Yeah, full policy first reading. Is there any discussion about the policy? Ask Director Howard to clarify the amount of policy.
Everything is different. And it's okay. My side is completely different from my side. What I'm saying is, it's just like, why do we have to not put on the pedestal, not but see color to appreciate what they bring to America, right? You did? I did. See?
Well, the reason why I did it the first time. The main reason I was voting for Ben Carson. So I voted for him, but he didn't have any punch. And I was like, I did Trump stuff. I just like to, yeah, it was.
Right. From when we were right in school, did we learn a lot about black people? Or did we learn about the same 5 people? Or if I would have asked you just name 5, 10, would you be able to do it?
You know, Benjamin Franklin, Abraham Lincoln.
Black. Would you be able to? Exactly. That's what I mean. That's just so much more than with our kids right now. It's a disservice. White people, black people, whatever, right? Because as I told you, unless, like I took black history in college and all this other stuff afterwards.
I just wish that these guys.
But if we think that,
Yeah, they do.
I can be right.
How do we get this together? How do we get it together? I
So I would say that why don't we bring that information into the textbooks and things like that so people can
look at Black Lives Matter for what they're supposed to be. Instead of Black Lives Matter. That's all that it is. And it just shows the level of support. And hey, you know what? Like you said, you were
Great. This is great. I like this.
I think we're getting some
Yeah.
communication here.
This is great.
This is awesome.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
I'll take this all day.
Yeah, let's come together.
Right?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Right? I'm with you.
something as simple as this on me on this side. Look at what happens to the noise. You see that? We have to bridge gaps.
Well, I can tell you something. I've been around the country, been around half the world, and if there's any place that I've been to that actually has not a perfect understanding, but definitely a better understanding of bridging the gaps in race, I think the city of Portland and Multnomah County is probably the best that I've been able to be around. It's not
Very
the best.
accepting. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
But I mean, if you were to go to Texas, Baltimore, Montana, you already know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and then you go to the south, and yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and so when you come to Portland, there's that big diverse bubble, and then all you see is all this stuff. It's not perfect. There's no union that's perfect.
It's not, but if both sides don't do a better job of having these conversations instead of yelling back and forth because we're all hyped up, we're all on emotion, like you can't say how it feels to walk in white, right? So you don't know the trauma that my kids face and when they see the flag nowadays, right? What it does. My kids are
But my problem that I have is we are having an education, the Board of Education in the state of Oregon that are saying because my kids are white, that they're automatically racist.
That's not right.
So, what part of the book, wherever it is, would it say that? Because there is, right? There are advantages and there are disadvantages. That's part of the
Do
problem.
you truly believe that in the world we live in, especially, let's just say the state we live in right now, do you feel that the white people have more advantages than African Americans?
Absolutely.
In what regard?
And that's fine. Do you want to be a part of the conversation? Are you trying to say someone's wrong? Do you know a lot of the history? Like, you know, 40 acres and a mule? You know what? It's history. I'm just asking you a question. You don't need to read. That's what happened. It wasn't all good. There was bad stuff. That's history. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking you a question. I am me, and I'm standing right in front of you. And what you're doing, you're taking your pent-up frustrations or whatever happened. I'm cutting you off. Okay. My mom is white, so let me just start with that here. I am not racist. I do not.
Great. And great for you.
Okay. See what? No.
Nobody wants to listen.
No, you know, there's a big difference. Let me tell you the difference between Philippines and
Hey, you're not my psychologist.
you don't want to hear it. And that's part of the problem.
Hey, Jake, can you not record this?
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah, I don't want you recording this, buddy.
Okay.
I appreciate you.
All right.
Respect them. They're
I'll
having
be
a good
respectful.
conversation.
That's fine.
So what training is it that staff currently gets for their
Still gonna get filmed. two sides together. Because I know we don't want to see peace, but it's going to get filmed.
No, because I don't believe what you say. What did I say? Tell me
We've
one
had a
thing that I said
partnership
you don't
with the
believe. You
Center
think I'm
for
racist.
Equity and Inclusion for the last 6 years, where we've had staff from individual buildings, licensed staff, classified staff, and administrative staff go through.
Because this is what we're really here for.
When it what?
This is what we're really here for.
Yeah. At the building level, we're not
But you
quite.
want to have that same dialogue. And because of that, that's where the issues are. I'm well educated, I'm a nurse, I came over here, had a great conversation with this man, didn't disrespect him at all one time, did I?
But let me ask you a question.
Nor would I.
Brass tacks. Why do they want to put Black Lives Matter flags on campaigns?
Why do you think they want? I just want to know what is your understanding?
My think is that there's a lot of people that have an agenda, and what they want to be able to, because you understand that you're smart, so you're educated, so you know that the people that run Black Lives Matter support Marxism. You know that.
Do you know that just because I am black and in my skin and I march and I'm holding a sign that says Black Lives Matter does not mean that I am affiliated in any way, shape, or form with Black Lives Matter organization, but just simply my Black Lives Matter. Just so you know that, and just so your counterparts know that. Did you know that? Did you think that we're all?
I have to disagree with you on that, because if you're supporting hashtag Black Lives Matter, that's the whole movement, right?
No, see, that's what I'm saying. That's how you bridge
How
those gaps.
confusing is that, though?
When do you take the time to talk about it? Because right now, we're educating each other.
But that can really make sense. The people that are like, hey, listen, you know, if there's certain individuals that are running a multi-million-dollar, however many $100 million, you know, campaign or whatever you want to call it, that support Marxism.
It's called just having a simple conversation. So before,
That's really confusing to the normal person.
So just so you know, a little education. Before BLM became an organization, BLM existed for just that.
So it was hijacked then?
Call it what you want, right? Like for instance, let's take some different organizations. If somebody rolls with Proud Boys, if somebody rolls with whatever other group names are out there, right?
Yeah.
And you're in a small group, or you're just saying this because this is the cause, this is what's going on, and somebody in that group is like, ooh, this is catchy, people are catching on, let's go make a 503c nonprofit, let's go do this. And let's say you disagree with what some of the things are that they're doing, right?
Sure, you always will. You always have some sort of disagreements.
Okay, so if you're no longer a part of that organization, but you believe in the values that it stood for, does that mean that you can no longer have that name or no longer use it? That's not what it's about. For certain groups, that's where communication comes in.
Well, for me as an individual, there's no way that I would stand on this corner with any of these people. You know, have a banner that had even like an American flag that was, you know, tattered or dropped on the ground. I wouldn't, if it was Black Lives Matter was something that you're not, like that group is separate from what you're doing, I would have a really hard time if my family or myself is standing by that and saying, well, we're different than what the other people you're talking
Just saying our Black
Yeah,
Lives
what
Matter.
distinguishes you from the original organization? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, so the Black Lives Matter, before it was an organization, this has been for many years. Black Lives Matter, BLM, right? Just because it's prominent today and people are seeing it, and then some person took and decided to make an organization out of it, doesn't take from the fact of what it's saying. So like if I have a t-shirt on, if I have a mask on, if I have a flag that says Black Lives Matter, it's just saying because they do. Just like you all say, all lives matter, right? Because they do. Okay? So just because, let's say, whoever wanted to keep all lives matter and someone took a 503c or whatever and made it an organization, and then you got people, opportunists in each group, each different race, each whatever, doing their own thing, but it's still not what you all started.
You
but
just repeated yourself, though. What distinguishes you from the regular group? Because
What
you're not.
distinguishes me?
Yeah, because like
Me.
what they're. That sign looks exactly what we just explained. We thought it was.
Right.
I mean, you're not distinguishing
The
yourself
only
from
thing
the
that
regular group.
distinguishes from me from the organization is
Yeah.
I'm not signed up. I'm not part of their organization. When I march in the street and I'm saying Black Lives Matter, I'm speaking for myself, my beautiful children, and people that look like me that have faced tons of different racism and missed opportunities and everything else. But I press resistance. Whether or not you want to agree, that's fine. You have a different walk of life than I do, and I respect it. That's fine. But when we don't have these conversations to talk to each other and figure things out, that's what keeps happening. Is we're all just spinning and it must be this, it must be this. But we don't have these conversations to find out what it's really truly about. Like I forget his name. I think it's Quincy, right?
Yep.
So he was just enlightening myself on some of the things. For instance, when my son, myself, have been attacked from men and women that wear Proud Boys, that have brothers, smacked in the face, cut in the head, while walking peacefully and just screaming Black Lives Matter. Is that one of you all? Would you do that to me or my children? So do you see what I'm saying? What distinguishes you? You get what I'm saying? If we don't have these conversations,
we don't act like that. We like everybody. We don't need to make a point that you're different. You look the same to me. I get darker than you in the summer. You know, we all like everybody. What I'm saying is, I don't think there should only be one flag.
You're allowed to do the Black Lives Matter, but if we did the 5013C that said all lives matter, we'd be racist. That's the problem.
I'm not racist.
We're not racist. Let's just do one flag, one nation under God, and leave it at that. We understand Black Lives Matter, but why does it have to be a flag in our classrooms with the LGBTQ, whatever? Why does that have to be? I have none. I have friends that are.
The problem is we don't want all of those propaganda. We don't curriculums drop down the face of our children
by a flag.
My responsibility to educate my kids, not the school district.
Exactly.
So let it be one flag. We don't need to be putting everything. So if the Black
And if
Lives
you want
Matter,
your kids to learn that, then we should have some sort of an opt-in education for you guys, so that we're not forcing it to for whatever you want to learn in your curriculum. The Black Lives Matter.
History? You mean just American history, or?
It'd be nice if they would teach us, throw that back in school again. Yeah, do any other political issues.
They want to do it with God. They want to do it with the Constitution.
Have you looked at the curriculum?
We just listen to the school board members, and they are totally out there. I don't want them
I looked at the curriculum. The 1619 Project is trying to erase the original history.
What do you mean erase original?
They're doing away with it.
Yeah.
They don't want us to call. They don't want you.
They don't want you to
kids
feel
call
like you're
mother,
equal
father,
here.
brother, sister. They want you to call them something. They want you to do what they want you to do. It's the big brother thing coming in.
So
and I'm not up with
Our
that.
founding was in 1776, not 1619. Plain and simple.
So I'm gonna backtrack and pick back up again. I just want to get to your question that you answered me, and the same thing that I'm asking you, right?
Sure.
What distinguishes you from the other Proud Boys that are doing the harmful things, right?
I'm not a Proud
Joe's
Boy.
not a Proud Boy.
What I'm saying is, what would distinguish you?
Why do you place me there?
What I'm saying is,
We're Americans.
I'm not. No, see, the difference here is you're standing here for Black Lives Matter. I'm standing here for Proud Boys. You see Proud Boys for love.
Just give me their looks. What I'm saying is, I'm just putting it in context. So, for instance,
you didn't try to have a conversation.
I just say, and I said hi, and you gave me a dirty look. My class mic. Okay, don't class mic.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Good. How are you? Yep.
To distinguish.
Yep.
When you look at Black Lives Matter as an organization, right? What distinguishes me is different. This is the only way. But this is the only way that I can distinguish. Asking you, like if you were part of the Proud Boys, right, or any other organization that took the same thing that I just explained to you.
Yeah.
This is the same thing. What would distinguish you? You see what I'm saying? Like
If I were standing here.
right.
Representing.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's all that I'm trying to say. Is we have to have these conversations. It's got to be equal, and you have to have it. I was just telling him.
I love it, man.
What a disservice.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I think these conversations are great. They've been needing to happen for a long time.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
For,
I mean, we are the same.
Yes, for me.
We are not different.
For
Amen
me
to that.
and my children. And I was just asking Ken.
Good, man. How are you today?
I'm so sorry.
You like it?
So.
Zoom meeting's over.
Probably.
For me and my children, especially with the curriculums in school, the if I were to ask you, give me 5 or 10 or 5 of the prominent black figures, activists, heroes, whatever, you name it, that we were taught in school, not now, but we were taught in school. You'd have a tough time naming them unless you did your research, right?
Who's we?
Anybody, all of us, from what we learned in school. So let's stop taking it as I'm trying to attack you. I'm definitely not trying to do that.
No, I'm just
what
trying
I'm
to
saying is
understand.
Factually, there's a lot cut out in history. Black history is American history.
Yeah,
but not a lot of that is taught in schools at all. What is taught in schools is a
How
lot
is it
of.
not?
Okay, name 10.
10 what?
10 black folks that you learned about in school besides Martin Luther King.
Besides Martin Luther King.
The same 5 that they teach every year. My point is,
why do we have to distinguish that though?
Because that's part of. Okay, so this is good. And I'm
Rosa
not trying
Parks.
to embarrass you. Okay, another one.
Frederick Douglass.
Frederick.
Malcolm X.
You were able to get just a few of
No,
the
but where I'm coming from is it's because you were always part of America. There's no reason to distinguish you. We fought to end slavery.
What I'm saying
America did that.
It's not taught in school.
It shouldn't have to be because you're with us.
Then no, this is great. If it's
I
it shouldn't have to be taught in schools, right? Then you have to make it equal because that's what we talk
It
about.
is.
It's not equal.
It is.
No,
Yes,
it's
it
not.
is.
And if you believe that,
How is it not equal?
How is it not? Yeah.
Because
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're totally
I've been trying to be quiet.
No,
it's hard for
I
me sometimes, but
No, I appreciate it. Just like I was explaining to him, what is being taught, right, is a lot of watered down stuff. Because a lot of the true history on how it was developed, how this nation came about, and then many, many years after that. Like, do you know about Jim Crow? Do you know about 40 acres and a mule?
Yep.
What's 40 acres and a mule?
Something that was promised to the slaves after they were freed.
What was Jim Crow, and why was it designed?
I'm pretty sure it has to do with voting laws.
So you get my point, though.
Yes. But haven't we developed past that?
Yeah. Well, of course we have. But what I'm saying is, when we're still teaching our children, current modern day, of things that were way before that, but we don't put those parts in it, it's a disservice to white children, black children, Asian children, Hispanic.
Well, it's propaganda.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to teach
and you have an arm of the
what I'm
government
saying.
that's continuing to say that we still have Jim Crow laws when we don't.
We feel just as offended by the propaganda arm of the government as anybody else does.
Well said.
Do you know what I mean? We are feeling it like, wow.
Imagine
it
how,
is broke.
Just so you know.
It is broken.
And imagine how.
And that's why I'm like, why are we standing on the?
Yes.
We all believe in the same thing, that this system is broken.
Right.
They have propagated for years. They're doing it through TV, through marketing, through Facebook. They're doing it through everything, and it's aimed at oppressing us, all of us.
And dividing.
All of us.
That's it.
And dividing us at the same time by these. Like, I'm just gonna say it. Some of this stuff is so it in the big picture of where we are today, fighting over some of these little things that, even though they matter, they do matter.
Right.
The things matter to me that I believe in. You know what I mean? The things that matter to you, you believe in.
Yes.
And those things matter, and I don't ever want to push that down. But the thing is they're dividing us. And we were meant to love each other. And I'm full of love, man, in my heart. I want to hug people and say, man, we could do this together.
Yes.
We could do this together.
This is what I like. Oh, go ahead.
Do you see what I'm saying? Because we already have these freedoms.
100%.
They are in the Constitution. Our forefathers actually put some pretty good stuff together that we could capitalize on and build on. Right? There's some really solid foundation things that give us all liberties and freedoms and freedoms of speech. And we can talk and dialogue and do all these things. Other countries don't get to do that.
I think there's also a small percentage of people that have the microphone on the TV and on the radio.
Oh, that's the propaganda. We know that.
Yeah, but I mean, there's millions of people.
But we in the streets, the ones that are down here, the little voices, We need to quit screaming at each other and start screaming at them together.
Yes, but it takes this
to have that
happen. Because it has been such
Yes,
a divide.
yes.
And I appreciate all of you talking
Yes.
and dialogue.
Yeah, we need it.
And
we want to come together. There is nothing more. The believers that I run with, the people who are, solid, moral people, and there's a lot of patriots I know that are solid, moral people. They want this just as much as I do. They want to have this dialogue. They want to
always open, and that's the thing. But I wanted to, like I was telling Quincy, just watch, right?
Yeah.
And I said it won't get silent until I do this, or until y'all do this.
Yeah.
It takes us to make the first step. It may be scary. It may be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it has to do with, you may not believe what I have been through, what I've dealt with, but you can't say, nope, that doesn't apply to you. You can't.
No, we're just saying
Can
that
I
you
just
shouldn't
give
be
you a-
imposing that on the rest of us.
Can I just give you
Just vice versa, too.
Right, and I'm not. You see what I'm saying?
But this feels like it.
So,
Well, no, but they're not being aggressive today.
No, I know.
shoe on the
No, I know,
other
but
foot,
we're out
right?
here
It
trying to
goes-
protect our kids from things that we feel are oppressive towards us.
So let me just tell you this, and I was just telling him, me protecting my kids, right? And I just told you the story of it goes both ways. I'm trying to protect my kids, but I'm also trying to fight for what I feel is equal rights, for what I have been through, which none of you would know, not even my own mother who is white, right? You will never be able to understand the things that we go through and how it makes us feel, right? And so I'm trying to protect my son. And so my son is very traumatized, including myself, because he's been attacked from people holding the same flag. Doesn't mean that it's you. Not saying that it's you. But what I'm saying is, when we do these things, you may feel heightened about when you see that, right? That's part of the problem. It takes this to bridge that gap.
Absolutely.
But you can't sit there and say what I have felt means less, or that, it's not true. These are real realities.
No,
but
we're
what
not,
happens
we're not
is,
saying that.
no, but they have, and a lot of people here have.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm
No,
saying
there's just a
is,
few people.
you got to
Yeah,
be okay
I
with
kinda
it.
agree.
Like, I respect it. That's your walk of life. I'm never going to be able to go through that.
Yeah.
Same thing with me. I got to respect where you're coming from. But the problem is we don't want to do that at times because we're all pent up on frustration and anger and what
Well,
we're
we get
seeing.
caught up on little things.
Little things.
Little
You're
things.
absolutely right.
We get caught up in the
And the
little.
message is gone. Yes, yes,
Yeah, the message is gone
100%.
because we get caught up in this little stuff, this little
Yes,
tit for tat
yes.
craziness.
Yes.
And it could be the talking points of the day that the
About a
media
small
gives
item.
us.
Yes.
So let me ask you,
You know what I
about a
mean?
small item, though. Do you feel, with your life experience, do you feel that the kids need to have a Black Lives Matter flag in the classrooms by state mandate?
Well, let me tell you what I feel about the flag. So you see what I'm saying? That's a hard question to answer. The only reason because the flag means something completely different to me than it does to you. So if I were to answer that as just a flat out yes, you're not going to be willing to accept that unless you hear my story. Same reason why I can say him or him with these flags. It's a different story. It means something different to him. And what I see that as, it lets me know, even though, like I said, I'm lighter skinned, my mom's white, there's been so much racism, there's been so much hatred that I've dealt with.
Can I
Wait,
Wait.
Let me finish.
Hold
Can I
on.
finish?
I want to up on that question.
Here's the thing. I totally get what you're saying, right? So many times since I've been here, I have not been the one to cut y'all off. I've had the women cut me off several times, very aggressive. I've had people get so happy to prove my point wrong instead of just opening your mind and understanding and having empathy and sympathy and understanding. And that's part of the issue. So let me just answer his question and then you can hop on it. So that sign lets me know, it lets all Black children know they're in a safe space. That they understand that there's been an oppressive system. It's all fucked up, like we can all agree, along the board. Some of us have different, harder times with police than others. And that lets me know that they are supported and they're safe.
So
that means to me.
Can I tell you what
it's But do you think that causes any sort of division?
The only division it causes is because of what you think in your mind and what you see that 503 CB or 50 whatever that organization is.
501c3.
There you go. Thank you. That's why. So instead of it just being like, this is the reason that it matters and that it's okay and I'm accepting it and I understand, it doesn't change your children. It doesn't
Well, but hold on now.
My thing is I think kids up, I would say to the level of 8th grade, just throwing that out there, that I've raised my kids to be kids.
Yes.
That's what I want.
Can I tell you something too? Sorry, go ahead.
In 1 second. And you know, it's very unfortunate that your son has had to go through some of those situations. But for me, I think the American flag, for me, just represents an overall union. It doesn't have to be a perfect union.
Okay.
But I think when we put another flag in there that represents something that really truly means something to someone else, that can cause division for our kids at a young age, where I don't want my kids to have to, they physically see color, but I don't want them to think anything different of my neighbor or my neighbor's adopted kid or anything like that. I just want them to be kids.
Absolutely.
And if
you
the
know
school
what?
board,
And that's a good thing that you're so. You get to protect your kids and their innocence.
So do
right?
you, right?
That's our jobs.
To a certain extent, I do. But let me just tell you this: living in black reality and black skin. My parents didn't get to protect me from that. I couldn't protect him from that. You see that little boy over there? He's already been called the N-word. He's been called the N-word. We don't have.
But now you raise them as parents, you let them know that they.
But what I'm saying is, you asked me about privilege.
Yes.
That is one privilege that you have over me.
You don't ever think I've been called a white cracker or a bum?
No. I'm sure you have.
I'm blue collar. I've started my own company and worked it up from the first penny.
Yes.
It's been hard for me.
I'm not saying that.
Can I one up that question real quick?
What I'm saying is, there definitely are privileges. I see it going to the store with my white mom, and she checks out before me. I see it all the time because you know why? I am different than you.
So,
and it is okay.
I'd like to say that.
And that's great for you.
I'd like to say something. Please.
And you can't tell me otherwise.
No, in this day and age, I think obviously that's your title.
It's the reality.
It's reality.
It's not how I feel, and that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. It doesn't.
I can tell you stories.
When you put a tourniquet on a guy sucking chest wound who's black or yellow, it doesn't matter to me.
You're absolutely right, and I love your passion. But what I'm saying is try to understand your mind.
I do.
So
here's the thing.
I try to.
Exactly.
The Black Lives Matter flag is a political flag.
Huh?
The Black Lives Matter flag is just a political flag. We might as well have a Trump flag.
Yeah, but she said she's not representing that organization.
How do I feel about Trump?
No, I didn't ask you that. I said if we have the American flag and the Oregon flag, because we're in the U.S. and we're in Oregon. Everybody has that in common. Absolutely. We want to start slapping up political flags, the pride flag, Black Lives Matter flag.
Or Trump flags, for that matter. Yeah.
Or even this flag.
Yeah.
I'd rather take down the POW.
I would love to.
In class,
I would
yeah.
love to put.
There's no reason.
Listen, I would love to put this flag in every classroom because that's my passion. You know, we the people. But that's not. I don't get to do that.
Who truly is, right? Number two is that flag means something different to me than it does to you. And that's okay.
It is okay,
That's
but it
true,
has
but
such.
I don't want to make. I'm not proposing to make the Trump flag or the snake flag or any of my personal opinion flags official school policy. And you don't have a right to make your opinion flag school policy.
So that is not what I'm here for. So that's what I'm saying. You already put me in a box.
Well, my understanding is we're here to oppose having those two flags officially instated.
You're correct.
Exactly.
To counter protest
I
it.
assume you're.
We're having these conversations.
I assume you're in favor of putting the flags.
So
up.
it is.
Protest against us. Is that not what they're here for?
No. So here's the thing. I've explained. My demeanor has been amazing. I'll pat myself on the back. Just kidding.
You haven't attacked us yet. That's true.
You're one of the nicest people from that organization that I've ever spoken to.
I'm not from an organization.
Well, I'm sorry, you walked up with them, so I'm not trying to group you with them. I was just saying.
Organization either.
Okay.
Just so you all know, right?
Well, okay, so
organization.
Okay,
That's what I'm trying to get you to
so
understand.
okay, and I've been told this. I've been told this before. I've been told this before. My question to you is, why do you use the same Black Lives Matter logo, the same colors, the same demeanor as?
I educated him.
No, I heard your conversation.
Before the organization. So you're telling me I have to give up something that I have been doing for 20 plus years because now the media has distorted and made you believe whatever.
It's not distorted.
Well,
It's not distorted.
What? There has been a lot of distortion in the media.
well,
He acknowledged it. It's propaganda.
Yeah.
It has. That's just fact.
Yeah, but I can also spew that as well the other way. I mean, there's $20 million that went missing last year that was part of that organization.
Let me ask you this. Has there ever been money missing from other organizations?
Of course,
Okay,
of course. But corruptness needs to go down to the bottom, and quite frankly, that organization that happens to be BLM.
I'm not a part of it, right? I'm
Okay.
not part of that organization. But time and time again in this conversation, it's been brought up. I've been categorized in that organization instead of just my Black Lives and my son and my daughter, my children's Black Lives Matter, number one. Number two, I have been peaceful in this conversation, even though I've been met with not so peacefulness.
I understand.
Do you understand how hard that is to do?
Yeah, and I commend you for coming over here and talking to us. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But do you
Huge
understand,
commitment.
though, as much as you're preaching such good, oh, them, you've done it to me several times.
Fair enough.
You got to understand that we have faults on both
So
sides.
I'm going to one up the question. Do you think it's appropriate for school board members to sit on a panel and tell Gresham people that our schools are inherently racist?
Do you want me to answer from a historical
I want you to answer
standpoint,
Your
or
own, from
from-
your own, no, your own
From
opinion
your heart,
right now.
Not digging
into history.
Right now, not history. Today.
Okay, so they said what again? I'm sorry.
They got on there and Amanda, I can't remember her last name, she's one of the school board members, said that our school systems are inherently racist, and they reworded the policy for our superintendents to get rid of white supremacy in our school system.
The best way I can answer that, and I'm going to use my son as an example and my children, okay? When my son does the exact same thing that his white counterpart son does, but my son gets suspended or my son gets in trouble repeatedly. This is what I faced it myself, and like I said, I'm a well-educated black woman. I'm freaking running big hospitals, right? That's what it's called, racism. It doesn't mean that you're a racist, right? But if you have everyone to a certain extent, we all have a part of us that is prejudice, that is systematic racism. Whether or not you want to swallow that and digest it, the minute you hear the word racist or racism, there's a wall that goes up immediately.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is,
why is that?
It doesn't change the facts of what's going on. Policing systems are racist because a lot of them.
Statistically, that's not the truth, though.
Like that's what I'm saying is you're right away.
No, because you're not speaking the truth.
I have chief of police in my family. I have the Portland Police Union that was started by my uncle, my white uncle.
Okay.
So let me just tell you firsthand, his mom, correctional officer.
You're talking about a certain precinct. That doesn't make all cops racist.
I wasn't finished. So,
okay.
So what I was saying was, never once said all cops are racist. I know that. I've got white people in my family that aren't racist.
But you're saying systemic racism.
So
it's in the system.
What do you think systemic racism is? I just want to know from your standpoint.
I don't know. That's why I'm confused.
Then how can
because
you
it's not,
disagree with it?
Because to me that says it's overall racist. When you're saying that our school system is inherently racist, that means all white kids automatically, and that pisses me off.
And I can understand
because
you should be pissed
they're talking
off.
about my kid.
There you go. But that's not what it means. So
yes, it absolutely does.
No. It really.
Then tell me how that doesn't mean it. Tell me how it doesn't mean it.
It truly does not mean that your kids are racist. It means that these systems, systemic racism is within pretty much a lot of organizations. You got to do that's fine. If you don't want to do your research on what
I've done my research.
Then what does systemic
basically
racism
what
mean?
they're saying is if you're white, if you're successful, if you've succeeded if you succeed above your black counterpart, you're automatically racist. That is not true. We are under a system of equality. We are under a system of merit, and if we exceed above, it doesn't matter your skin color. It doesn't matter about it.
I hear what you're trying to say, and I'm going to say this respectfully and no disrespect. What I'm saying is I would encourage you to do more research, not just listen to what they're saying, right? But to truly do more research on what systemic
I just told you I have.
Okay, so then when I ask you, what is systemic racism?
I just told you.
No, you told me what the
By the
schools say.
NAACP, the president of the NAACP said himself that very thing. All systems of white succession are automatically white supremacy.
What is the research you've done? Because that is so not even what it is. Just so you know, and I'm being honest, and I'm trying to be respectful without trying to make you feel any certain type of way. That's what I'm saying. I would encourage you to do research on the history. And
I don't want you to tell me to do research. I want you to tell me that what, if you're saying that's not it, then what is it?
It's hard for me to explain. Don't have it. Like, for instance, it's going to be hard to put walls on the house when you haven't laid a foundation. It's going to be hard for you to analyze and understand what I'm saying.
I don't want to hear ad-libbing. Give me facts.
I'm not ad-libbing.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No,
Give me facts. Give me facts.
Okay. Like I said, I cannot, there's a certain point where I cannot talk to someone if you don't know a little bit about any sort of it at all. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just being 100% honest. That's like...
But you're giving me emotion. You're not giving me any substance.
So
you're not giving me substance.
The only emotion right now is coming from you. I'm not
Yes,
trying to
because
give emotion.
you're trying to work around the fact that I want some substance. Just give me substance.
Look, it's hard for me to even go a little bit because nope, that's not it. You shut me down every single time. It's hard for me to truly explain to you what systemic racism is when I feel like you're one side.
But you haven't said anything.
Can I, I don't believe that the system is racist. That's my personal thoughts. I do believe there's racist people in the system.
Agreed.
And I think that it's kind of blanketed the entire system. And I think that there's racist people not just in the system. I think there's racist people that just walk down the street. And they're going to say whatever the fuck they want to say. But that population of people is so minute and so distorted and so outcasted anymore. Let me tell you something. If someone went down the street right now and was like, you know what? Fuck those, whatever. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, I don't care what it was. I'd be like, yo, you need to get the fuck out of here.
Shut the fuck up.
You need to get the fuck out and never come back.
Right, but when you say to a black woman that racism or those people are so minute and they're so far out, that's where I'm letting you know you're absolutely wrong, not in a rude way.
Okay.
Can I give you an experience? I had a job interview for Portland Providence Medical Center.
About my everyday life in existence, you will not know, but you laughed at it. And that's
Yes,
really
because you're painting all of society that way by your expression.
I am half of you, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
So don't tell me
you're
I'm
insulting
painting.
me.
I'm insulting half of myself then. My mom is white.
Yeah.
I am half white. I am not
No, I get that.
insulting you.
Yeah, but by saying,
By any means, what I'm saying is it's reality.
that
You
overall
hear the
there's
word racism,
racism,
you get your
even though
feelings
we
hurt.
try to minute it because that's what it actually is.
There are people that are white that are not quote unquote racist with their everything with their allies out here, right? That's not what I'm saying. But the minute you hear racism, it's like that's not me. That's not my kids. My kids are racist. You shut down. You don't even want to. You don't even want to hear anymore.
Yes, because everybody's making it universal.
You can't learn it. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to sit here and have a further conversation when it's so much shut down because I'm taking my time out to come and have a conversation.
And I appreciate that.
It's difficult when I'm smirked at, I'm laughed at, I'm huffed at. It's a turn off essentially. I'm not trying to be rude, with all respect. When I say educate yourself, it's not because I think that you're that you're dumb or stupid or anything. I had to educate myself. I had to educate myself on my history. I had to educate myself on American history. I had to educate myself on multiple different laws and how things were created and why it was passed and why they feel and see and understand and recognize systemic racism. When you have termites in your house, you have to figure out where they come from. Whenever there's anything wrong with anything, you have to figure out why it's there and you change it. That doesn't mean just because they say there's systemic racism and everybody is who's racist is white. No, it just means that, okay, we've identified a problem and we see why. And we see why they're saying that, so let's change it.
Yeah.
But the minute you hear that, this defense is, I'm fuck this, I'm done, that's the problem.
Well, no, and part of the problem is researching under bias. Like if I were to research under my bias, if you were to research under your bias, same
But
thing. I'm married to a Democrat, so
And
it's
I
like,
never do.
so it's like, you know, I talk to her and I say,
Two.
how do you problem solve? You have to hear both sides of the story.
You do, but let me, but like I said before, look at the difference in the way I've been treated, very nice and respectful, by other people here. It makes it difficult. It really, truly does. And I know, I'm sure you're
No,
met
I
with
feel
it
the same
on the
way.
other side.
I feel
Not
the
from
same
here from me today you did. And what I'm saying is, sir, is your behavior and demeanor at times disrespectful. I kept it respectful with you this whole time. Same thing with that woman there who was
I didn't feel
interjecting
respected.
and
I know you didn't either.
so you felt that I was disrespectful to you?
Yeah.
If you felt that way, I apologize. That was not my intention.
How did you feel disrespected? How did you feel disrespected?
Because she, for instance, when we were talking that we believe there's racism in this, there's people that are racist in the system, but it's not a universal thing. And this talk about systemic racism paints it that everybody is racist automatically.
Do you know what systemic racism is?
Yeah,
the research I have done, even by the president of the NAACP, is any white person who succeeds at any area, in business, in school, in life.
That's not what it means. And that's what I've been trying to say. And
Yeah,
so
but you haven't given me an answer of what that is not.
It's the institution set in place that uphold racism.
So that's why I encourage you.
Then they tabled it till they pushed it.
I don't think
I'm sorry.
School to prison pipeline.
I don't think they.
What is that?
It's kind of like it's a stretch. It's redlining. It's like redlining. Like how it's not the same thing, but it's how they're trying to connect the dots. Like
Because redlining happens.
yes, no, but it also happens to poor people, so it's not really a legitimate argument. And then people like to make the argument that it doesn't happen to just poor people. It just happens to be black people because they live in poor neighborhoods. And yes, I understand that. But there's also white people that live in poor neighborhoods as well, and they are redlined. So is that racist?
I'm for military, he's for military. I really don't care. I'm just going to cross it out. I just, the character of your person and what you're going to show, what you say you're going to do, and then what you're going to do. I know he's a lot more
white
PC.
people over there.
He's
They're
very
not
well-spoken, he's very
racist.
well
They could be
educated,
living in my
but
neighborhood.
tonight,
You know what
if you
I'm saying?
review a video online,
So if I don't agree with you, am I racist?
what I'm getting at is
you don't have to agree with me, and that doesn't
But am I
make you
racist?
But that's so
about
You gonna listen
the
to me?
policies and the
that's
policies
the thing.
that I
You
put
can't
forward
ask me
that I
a question.
handpicked. He goes, you call
You
me.
coming here
I called him right
to
after he said that. 30
protest
seconds
against
after
a
he said
Black
that.
Lives
Then he also
Matter
made
flag
comments
and
about the American
LGBTQ
flag and
flag?
standing behind the flag.
Portrays
You don't know
portrays
what
you
that
as
flag
a racist.
represents compared to him.
See?
But here's the thing for us is it's not a personal thing. It's a right versus wrong thing. See, you would be
And I
upset.
don't want the American flag in the schools either, because that doesn't
It
represent.
should.
That might not represent.
Okay, but we're not pushing.
He's not saying that I'm against the flag.
Right? Like for instance,
Yes, that's what the
Are
American
you
flag
for it
is.
or are you
but
against
not
it?
everybody
An
is
American flag
See,
does
this
not
is-
stand
this
for
is why we
justice and
can-
liberty for
Yes,
everyone.
So were
it
you
does.
not born
Yes,
here?
it does.
Were you
I
not?
ain't gotten justice.
Were you not born here? Were neither of you born here?
No, we were
I
was born here.
Okay, so you're born.
My father wasn't born here. He was born in Vancouver, Washington, because Portland, Oregon didn't allow black people to be born in Portland, Oregon during the time. So I'm only one generation.
And I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about because Vancouver was predominantly black, downtown specifically. It was. I've seen pictures of it and stuff, so I understand where you're coming from.
Just so I can understand.
Do you think it'd be appropriate? I am. I know you don't want to. I know you don't want to talk live. Yeah. Well, and the reason why I do is because I think it's important that people understand what's going on. That it isn't just fighting. We're not fighting. I understand. I understand. Yeah, but it's.
Want to have these dialogue conversations, but I'm not here for the social media.
But I wouldn't have that kind of dialogue with you here. That would be something over lunch or something, smoking a blunt or something. You know what I'm saying, dude? Yeah. I don't have my Cash App up. My Cash App isn't up. My Cash App isn't up. Neither is my PayPal. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Huh? No, go and look. I'll show you right now. Where's my Cash App on my? No. Look. Where's my Cash App and my PayPal? I don't see it anywhere.
What's your whole reason in video right now?
Because it's documenting. This is history. Yes, it is. See, and that's the problem is you guys want to get rid of history rather than creating a new history, which we are going to come together eventually on. We will. We will. It's natural. Huh? No. No, I'm not. Am I counter protesting?
I know you are. You do a lot of counter
and did the grassroots thing.
Yeah, I think your vision of a counter protest is different than mine, though.
There's hundreds of people. There's thousands.
To this, why I specifically showed up to this? Again, history. It's history.
It's not related to Patriot.
Which events are you referring to?
All of the ones that you show up that ain't related to Patriot.
Yeah. And you think that people going through the streets, destroying buildings and burning stuff and breaking windows, you think that shouldn't be documented?
That was really weird.
No, I don't think it should be documented. But people, as a black person, I'm gonna tell you, I don't support that. I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's colonizing the movement. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not with that because it takes away the narrative and the push that we're actually trying to get and achieve, which is changing laws and legislation. But the question was, and you diverted from the question, the question was, why do you show up to other events?
Again, because it's important that history is documented. And this is history, whether you want it to be or not. We're going to be talking about this 20 years from now.
Show up as an antagonizing type of way.
Do I? Dude, what's antagonizing about me?
Man, you want to argue with people, you know what I'm saying? You want to put your camera in people's face and stuff like that, like it's antagonistic.
But you're okay.
I've been at plenty of events with no camera.
It's going to be a 5-2 vote.
Plenty of events. Because it's my passion. Because it's my passion. Huh? No. Patriotism, America, loving my country, loving God.
We're not here for patriotism.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
That's not us. That's not what we're trying to push.
But I'm not with Black Lives Matter. I'm not with the left. I'm not with the agenda being pushed by the left.
Because we're not an actual organization. When we say you don't believe that we're organized.
You don't think that you're an organization? Sorry, you don't think that Black Lives Matter is an organization?
I'm saying when black people say Black Lives Matter, we are not part of the organization.
You're okay with
it? I am literally saying Black Lives literally matter.
And there's not another term. There's not another term for that. There's not another term for that, so that we don't.
Why do we have to?
Whoa! Don't you dare! Don't you dare! You leave me the fuck alone! Don't you dare! No, you do not take my picture so you can dox me, you fuck!
You're public. No, but she can't be assaulting people.
No, let's not dox people. Let's not dox people.
That's not doxing.
He was taking a picture of me. I saw
Jake is out here recording. What do you mean? You just assaulted somebody.
He came up to me and told me a dumb bitch.
You just assaulted somebody.
He started it.
Hey, no, man, let him do his
He said
thing.
he was gonna pull my dog. He said he was
He just got a subject.
abuser.
Hey, no, fuck that. Move out of the way. If people want to do their thing, let them do their thing. She shouldn't have got a. She shouldn't have started, man. That's not cool.
No, he said he was gonna pummel my dog.
Nah, you changing it. You are changing things now. You want to change it to animal abuser.
White trash. You're white trash. All right, white trash. White trash. Yeah, get me saying that. You're white trash.
Yeah. He is recording or taking a video. He got a right to do that. Jake do that all the time. He's doing that right now. See what I'm saying? And why should we have to change our actual terminology because we're telling you that we're not part of an organization? I'm saying that Black Lives Matter. You see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
Organization. I shouldn't have to change my terminology because you feel a certain way about it. I'm telling you, we're not part of an organization.
You're the racist.
She hit him with the flag.
Oh, I did? You threatened to fucking kick my dog.
Now you the fucking dog away.
She did nothing wrong to you. She did nothing wrong. You came up to my face and called me a bitch.
You know, I said get the dog away.
You said you were going to beat me up.
I want solutions for a kid.
Never come near me again. I will file a restraining order on you.
You know, propaganda, I think, should be, I think we should get back to life.
Ever come near me again. Ever. Don't you ever come near me again.
You assaulted him.
Please don't tell me that. You're like, come on. You're acting like Antifa now. Come on.
I am Antifa. I am anti-fascist. What do you
You're acting
mean?
like an anarchist.
I'm not an anarchist, but what do you mean? Do you want to say I'm acting like a black person now? What the hell are you going to talk about? Yes, I am.
I hate those bitches.
There's really no point. It's not going to get anything. But yeah, so it would be nice if we could continue to have conversations. You know, like I said, to the east side.
So what do you mean by what do you mean by a different label? What do you mean? What do you mean by a different label? Different label. You're saying that Jake's saying a different.
Oh, because no, it's not as much that. It's just you guys say you're not part of the organization Black Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter, and I understand that. So I'm trying to I
appreciate you doing it.
I don't know. It's not for my own good. It's just like if you don't want to be associated with that. Like I don't call myself a Proud Boy because I'm not a Proud Boy. You know what I'm saying? So
That's different though. That's different. He's saying that Black Lives Matter.
I mean,
I don't understand why it's like an issue. Just because we say Black Lives Matter doesn't mean we're discriminating against
literally saying my brother right here.
Yeah, and you all matter. You all matter. You all matter. And I'm not even saying that. Yeah.
The conservative preacher, black man, he matters.
He matters. Yeah.
We all matter.
No. You don't matter until Black Lives Matter.
But
because we are under attack.
But I can see that black and white and everybody's lives matter.
No, Black Lives Matter.
So okay, let me ask you this: do only Black Lives matter?
Until Black Lives Matter, all lives cannot matter. You feel me?
Okay. I want to understand this. I want to make sure that I'm clear. Do only Black Lives Matter then? Not
only Black Lives Matter, but white lives are under attack. Black lives are under attack. So until our life actually matters to the systems that are against us and oppress us, then no life matters.
Okay, can I just capitalize on that? And even if you've been, I gotta go talk to you.
When you say capitalize, you already want to debate with me, and there's no debate.
Well, no. What I want to say is I'm in the same place with you. I've got 26 arrests, almost as many convictions. I have been oppressed by the system, the same system you're talking about. I'm not kidding you.
So you fear for your life when you come in contact with
for my life when I come in contact with the law. I do. I have my whole life since I was a kid, man. I was beat by my freaking teacher who was a third grade.
you don't
He
have
was
to-
a third grade teacher and he was a cop.
You don't have
He
to
came
say-
to school with his badge on. He beat me, man.
All right.
All right.
That's trauma.
All
And I
of
get
our
that.
lives matter.
But you don't have the same concerns as we do as leaving our house as a black person and literally not knowing every day if we can make it. Exactly.
Sir, I drove for 10 years without a driver's license, man.
No, I hear.
With looking in the mirror the whole time, just knowing I'm going to go to jail. How is that not
You should have it for your son. Because it is how it is. We could be profiled for a certain thing. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? And just because of our race and the institutions that are set up, they're racist. You know what I'm saying? And a police officer are gonna have those biases. You know what I'm saying? And if they got those biases and those racist ideas in their head, then they just want to kill a black man. You do anything wrong, anything, brother. You take your hands off of that steering wheel. You do anything. You have a motherfucking air freshener in your goddamn car, like Dante Wright, and you get pulled over. You know what I'm saying? We got all this trauma of being pulled over and killed by police officers. He literally just tried to get back in his car and take off, man. We traumatized from already seeing so many black people out here being killed. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, can I ask you something again?
So you should fear as a black man for your life every time you walk out of your house, and you should fear that for your son too.
Why should I let fear control me?
You shouldn't let fear control you.
I'm not going to.
You know what I'm saying? But you should fear that though.
I'm not going to.
You should have. You don't gotta. You personally don't have to. I fear for my son every time he walk out the house. You know what I'm saying?
Because there's other worse things that could happen than a police officer is just going to shoot him because
but it's still that.
I mean, there's a car
it's still
accident. I should fear for the car that he's driving.
There are, right? There are, but we shouldn't have. We can actually fight these.
And then what about us? It goes back to us.
Can you walk over there with them?
It goes back to us, bro. Like it's scary in Chicago for a black man to walk down their own black neighborhood.
You're right. Yeah, absolutely.
That's scary.
Absolutely. But also in Chicago, they ended up.
I know there's stuff. I know there's issues. I know.
And the government, it's just like the government put drugs on the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So who putting the guns on the streets and the ammo on the streets now? Because not all these gun spikes started rising until we started talking about defunding the police.
Right.
We started talking about defunding the police, and then the gun spikes start happening.
Yeah.
Who's supplying the streets with these guns? Who's supplying the streets with these ammo?
Well, criminals are going to get guns. You know that. I don't care what color you are.
Right.
It's going to be criminals. Yeah, the criminals are going to be criminals. Period. No matter the color.
Right.
And that's what's happening. I mean, there's so many shootings
institutional
going on.
criminals too.
Yeah. There are. And that's why I know.
Okay, so can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So I'm a gun owner, right? And when I get pulled over by a police officer, the first thing that pops up on my record, because I have no record, is that I own a gun.
Me too.
Okay. So
Without that concealed first.
Am I to be scared that they're going to discriminate upon me because I'm a gun owner? Is that the same thing?
You're a white person. I'm not trying to laugh at you, but it's gonna be different if I'm a black person. If I'm a black person getting pulled over and I got a concealed carry, Philando Castile. You know what I'm saying?
That was a fucked up situation.
You see what I'm saying?
It's not okay.
So it's gonna be different if you black and if you white and you getting pulled over, and that's all that we saying.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a different reaction. Like that's just how it is.
Okay.
Not everywhere, but
okay.
And not all the time. And you might get a different reaction from a police officer, and a police officer might treat you fucked up. I'm not saying that they're not gonna treat you fucked up, but it's a higher chance that we gonna get profiled and we gonna get treated fucked up by the police officers, and we worry about our kids being able to make it home when they leave the house. That's all that we saying. And when we say Black Lives Matter, we literally just meaning that this motherfucker life matter, his life matter, every fucking black person lives matter.
Okay.
We're not part of no organization. We don't fuck with the organization. We don't even believe in some of the stuff that they do. You know what I'm saying? Even though they out here fighting, they fight for the people. One of the CEOs just resigned. You know what I'm saying? We're not part of the organization. We are literally out here making sure that these youth have a better life.
Fair enough. So do you march with them in Portland? Or in Gresham? Or
That's a loaded question. What are you trying to get at by that? Because I am an activist and I do march.
Right.
And I do.
How do you feel about marching with Antifa Is that
I'm
acceptable?
anti-fascist, so that's the problem.
So you are
I'm
anti-fascist. Okay.
We have a conversation without you always chiming in, Margie Green Taylor, Candace Owens, whoever you the hell think you is.
I have a place too, man.
No, but you just got done with. You've been causing problems since I've been here.
Problems.
Yes,
I'm
you
the one
haven't
that
had
started.
not one good conversation with anybody, so I don't even want to hear
I
from
had a
you.
conversation with that lady over there.
Nah, man, that lady, you was yelling. You was yelling at that lady.
Trying to hurt me.
You was yelling
guy
at that lady.
My dog to hurt my dog.
I'm about
and
to
me.
ignore you. So yes, I am anti-fascist. Everybody should be anti-fascist. But the problem is, I am not an anarchist. I do not participate in anarchy.
So you don't agree with that aspect of it?
That's a loaded question. You feel me?
Well,
That's another loaded question
do you
because it's
believe in
people over property? You know what I'm saying?
So do you? Well, the bottom line is, do you believe in escalation and destroying property to get what you? Excuse me. The group of people that you are currently associating yourself with at that time.
I feel like that's a co-opt of the movement. I don't feel like that actually helped us push forward laws and legislation.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But
okay.
honestly, like when things first happened, like when George Floyd's first killed, Dante Rice first killed, y'all gonna see that heat turned up because it's high emotions.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be those times where shit is burnt down. Do I feel like the continuing of it is helping? No, I feel like it's taken away from the message and the narrative and things that we really need to be pushing forward, which is laws and legislation.
So let me ask you this: as a black man, if you had a business, because I know we want to be entrepreneurs and we want to have our own stuff and own our own businesses and things like that. If that happened to your storefront, your business, would you be all right with that?
Would I be all right with it? I wouldn't have a problem with it, to be honest with you. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No. But the thing is
That's what
we
you work
also have
for.
to understand, I done been in several different cities, right? I done been in several different cities. A lot of the black people in other different cities don't allow that shit to happen at all.
I
You know what I'm saying? In the movement.
Yes, I know.
Me as a black man, being part of the movement, being part of the protest, you know what I'm saying? I understand this shit. But if I'm gonna see a white person coming around breaking my windows and I'm a black-owned restaurant or a business, that shit needs to be addressed. You know what I'm saying? And if that shit ain't being addressed between the black activists, then that's a problem because they fucked up a black-owned business. You see what I'm saying? So that's like it's
That's the fucking that's the quote of the day, dude. That's the quote of the day. I can agree.
Yeah,
I
don't
can
twist
say,
that shit
no, I
in your
won't. I will not. I will not. I will not. I will not. That is the quote of the day. No. This ain't a camera show, dude. I'm not here to make anyone look stupid or piss anyone off or anything. I just am trying to legitimately understand the viewpoint, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
and I really haven't been able to sit and have a conversation with anyone from that side because it's, well, violence every time. So.
Yeah, I'm not a destructive person. I wouldn't say that I'm non-violent, you know what I'm saying? But I want to make sure that we get our laws and legislation and our narrative is clear. You know what I'm saying? So, however that happens, you know what I'm saying? Like Malcolm X said, by any means necessary. But I want to make sure that we controlling the narrative in the same time.
You gotta understand who Malcolm X was against, though, too.
Who, Martin Luther King?
No, he was against the white liberals.
Yeah.
Which is really rolling with the Black Lives Matter movement.
But that was also a different time, though. You know what I'm saying? Like black people
same issues, though.
Black people used to be Republicans.
They still are.
No, literally black slaves and everybody else.
Yeah, but the party views were different.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like it completely flipped.
Yeah.
So it's different times now too.
Okay, but if it's different time, yeah. Okay, I know what you're. But then why are we holding on to so much of those times and still?
I mean, I don't get into the politics. I'm literally here to tell y'all that Black Lives fucking matter.
But you're into politics, though.
Yeah, I'm only into politics because I'm making sure that laws and legislation change.
And that's where it's at. That's where
I
the fight
went from
should
an
be.
activist into working in city politics. You feel me?
Yeah. That's where it's at. That's where the change.
So, okay, what's like the ultimate goal? And I don't want to hear anything about like, you know, defund the police or not. Like, what's the goal?
Yeah, the ultimate goal is to
the
make
end
sure
game?
that these brothers right here, Those sisters right there had the same opportunity as your kids do.
Amen to that.
That's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, and I want that too.
Everybody
I
wants
want that too.
100%.
I want everyone to succeed.
The only way we're going to get that is we unite. We unite together. Under one bond, under one God, one nation.
And the only way that can change those laws and legislation have to change.
And the conversations.
The conversation also, Socioeconomics, you know what I'm saying? We have to have socioeconomic opportunities, you know what I'm saying? We have to have the same opportunities. We have to have equal rights in our schools. You know what I'm saying? Like my kids was going to a Christian school where they was called N-words almost on a weekly basis. You know what I'm saying? There was disproportionate ways that they would get write-ups rather than their other counterparts or co-students would get write-ups. You know what I'm saying? Teachers would push their own racist ideologies onto the students. The real U.S. history, the real local history needs to be also taught in our schools.
That's a good point.
Local history is important. Yeah.
I just got one question though.
Yeah.
You say no lives matter till Black Lives Matter, or white lives matter don't matter till Black Lives Matter, right? So, and you keep pointing to your brothers, right? So is anybody?
I'm just saying this. I don't even know this young man. I know.
I'm just saying, like, is anybody mixed?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Is white.
So you say only Black Lives Matter until, or no white lives matter until Black Lives Matter. Nope. So does that mean your dad is more important than your mom?
No, it doesn't. What that means is that you have to understand that Black lives are under attack. White lives aren't under attack. And so until y'all realize that Black lives matter, don't nobody lives matter until Black lives matter. Because our life are under attack. Y'all know, I don't know, I can't tell, you know what I'm saying? You might be indigenous, I just can't tell because you blocked up like the other motherfuckers that be out there, you know what I'm saying? But
that's pretty white.
You white portraying,
I'm Italian.
You know what I'm saying?
Italian.
So
I'm Argentine.
Still discriminating against nobody is. Nobody else lives can matter.
But I'm saying that statement right there, no lives matter until Black Lives Matter, would mean your dad's more important than your mom.
No, I just broke it down to you. You aren't discriminated on. You don't have to worry about going outside of your house and fearing for your life. You know what I'm saying? You have opportunities. You have privilege until we as Black people have that, all lives cannot matter.
Okay, so what laws are you looking to change?
We looking to change. I'm gonna go back to policing because that's just the main thing right now. But qualified immunity, yes, we got to do that. Okay. We got to make sure that these police officers are carrying liability insurance, because when they carry liability insurance, right, they agency will have an insurance for them. But once they start having more
each individual cop has.
Yup, each individual cop has
personal
to have
insurance?
Personal liability insurance.
Well, when they're on the job, then the insurance wouldn't kick in. That's how that works.
What do you mean that when they're on the job?
Like if you had personal insurance and you did something on the job, your work insurance would kick in, not your personal insurance.
No, I'm talking about liability insurance. So when they out there and they have a disciplinary infraction or something, their insurance premium will go up. If it's a misconduct, if it's deemed misconduct, their insurance premium will go up.
If it's deemed misconduct, they should just be the fuck off the force.
Yeah.
They should be, but that doesn't happen, right? So unless we pass laws and legislation for these police officers to actually have liability insurance, say if there is misconduct, their premiums will go up. If they have another misconduct, it's going to be harder for them to be insured.
You're talking a lot of money, though. You cannot afford to have a liability insurance. It's out of range.
So instead of relying on the
do that.
Police chief,
it's impossible.
Rely on
How are you going to
insurance company?
You're going to have $1 million policy.
I'm relying on laws and legislation.
You know what I'm saying, though. Like you can't trust the police chief.
Can't trust the police chief.
So you want to put it on the insurance company, so mark after mark after mark, they're not going to be able to be insured. They're not going to be able to have their job.
We're still, like I just said, we can't rely on the police chief, right? Because the police chief is also raised up in a racist institution. I am not relying on the insurance company. I am relying on the insurance company to actually uphold the law and legislation that would be put in place.
So who are you talking? What kind of police officers you're talking about? Because you have both. You have black and white. All officers?
All police officers.
All police, all of them?
All police officers. Black police officers, white police officers. It don't matter. All skin folk and kin folk.
I personally think the best way to hold cops accountable, I don't like cops, all right? Best way to hold cops accountable, everybody has a body cam, and it's a straight live feed to the world.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
like
then,
people,
but
like
also,
you and all the little computer nerds, they'll be watching them cops.
Yeah.
They'll be getting them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I like the live feed, but there's a problem with that. Until we get laws and legislation in place for police officers not to actually hold that footage and edit that footage, you know what I'm saying? We need
That's what I'm saying,
laws
live.
and legislation.
Live, bro. Live.
Well, yeah, and a live feed would
because
allow
once
it to be.
something happens, the police chief, takes that video. We don't see it for fucking 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and
live.
they doctor
you want
it.
to hold cops accountable?
Or still the motherfucking Elizabeth City, they still not releasing that
release
shit.
that.
You
They
know what I'm
should.
saying?
Yeah, they should release it.
Yep.
Right now, trust me, I wouldn't want to be a police officer in the conditions that the world has gone to. Forget that. Heck with that. I got a wife and kids and everything, I want to come back to them every now and then. I think we got to be real cautious. I think the only way I can say is you got to sit down and talk, iron things out. That's the only way you can do it. I'm serious.
Do you think there's a resolution?
I don't think
like an ultimate
other way you can
resolution
do it. There's
to
bad
where
cops and good cops.
we can both come together. Like, not even just. I'm not even talking about Trump supporters and BLM. I'm talking about everybody coming together and coming to the point where you get a little bit of what you want.
Big flag, isn't it?
Too much.
Satan's world. It ain't gonna. No one's
Yeah,
gonna
you're
come
not gonna be
together.
able to get everybody to
God
agree on the
protects us
same
all,
thing.
The thing is, we can't be out
We
there
used to be able to, though.
We can't be negotiating because you was about to say, "Can I get a little bit of what I want, and you get a little bit of what you want," or not even you, but like you know what I'm saying, the other side, and that's not what we fighting for right now. You know what I'm saying? We fight.
Hey, dog. Hey, Vicious.
We fighting for. Leave her dog alone before she go off on you.
He won't do
We
nothing.
fighting for equity. You know what I'm saying? White people standing right here. We right here. You know what I'm saying? So we need our stuff passed so we can all be on that same playing field. You know what I'm saying? It's not even equality. Because if we had equality right now, y'all started 200 meters away from us. How the hell we supposed to catch up? That's not even equal. You see what I'm saying?
So, okay. I do hear what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So, what about, let's just, for instance, say...
what you shaking your head about?
It just bugs me, bro. Like, just because I'm white, you think you know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you think I got privilege and shit, bro? Like, I was fucking couch surfing out in Portland ever since I was 13.
I'm not saying all white people do have privilege, though. But I'm saying because you're white facing, most white people, and you got blue eyes too. You know what I'm saying?
They're pretty as fuck too.
Hey, I'm not judging you, my man. I'm not judging you, but I'm saying white people have privilege. We don't have privilege as colored people.
Bro, I don't see any privilege in my childhood. Trust me. I could bench here over here off a live camera, and you be hugging me.
Hey, that's what I'm saying, man. There's white people out here houseless. You know what I'm saying, and everything. So not everybody do, but white people have privilege though. That black people don't have.
See, I don't agree with that. I agree with green privilege. Money.
That's not it, though.
Green privilege, bro.
But how do we get that? How do we get that money? We don't have those opportunities.
There's a lot of rich black people, though. A lot of rich black people they're richer than I'll ever be, even dream of being.
Yep. And they privileged too.
You think they're privileged?
They privileged too. Absolutely. Yep.
Why is everything privileged, though?
Just like I told you just a little bit ago, we light skinned. We got more privilege than dark skinned people do. You know what I'm saying?
So tough for me to swallow.
That is I mean, it's a crazy concept.
Because dark skinned people get it harder than us as light skinned people.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, it is true.
You know what I'm saying? We're more fair skinned, and that's more acceptable to white people with us being more closer to being fair skinned than darker skinned people.
So you're saying darker skinned people can't make it up?
No, you're not saying that. He just says it's more difficult.
Okay, whatever.
Right?
God. Yeah, 100%.
It's more difficult. He's saying it's more difficult.
I'm saying that they get more racism, you know what I'm saying? Because the darker you are, the more
Just go back to slavery. That lighter skin was...
Lighter skinned people was the house people, you know what I'm saying?
The darker Indians, they want to try to lighten their skin up. I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
And I'm half Indian, by the way. I'm not white. I'm Latina and Indian.
Ah,
okay?
Latina.
I know is you on the wrong side of the
Igual
bed,
para acá
man.
también soy latino yo. I'm a white guy, but I was raised in Argentina. Hablo perfectamente el idioma.
I'm not here.
When I left, hey, you know, I came to the States with $500 in my pocket. $500.
You ain't feeling that? What he was talking about? I was talking about that shit.
$500 when I came from South America. I was a missionary kid. $500. I had nobody here to help me out to get on my feet. I was on my own. With God's help.
You a white man with blue eyes too.
Blue eye. Hey, God created everything.
Is that privilege? That's privilege.
But I came from Argentina, man. I didn't hire.
But what if I was to say
My daughter got blue eyes.
you're just as handsome as any one of us. No homo.
That has nothing to do with opportunity, though. You know what I'm saying?
If you work hard, you can
Well,
get
is that
anything you want in this life.
but do you see what I'm saying? Like,
that has nothing to do with opportunity.
but you were just saying that we're privileged because we have blue eyes, like almost insinuating that. Like, well, I don't know what is that supposed to mean? I don't understand.
Y'all are white with blue eyes.
Does
Y'all
a
have
black person with blue eyes have more privilege than a black person with brown eyes?
Nah, man, that's because they black, man. I'm talking about y'all skin color. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
Like,
have-
we don't have the opportunity.
What did he say?
What do I need that for? Why are you carrying that?
Hey, I'm trying to help you.
No, I don't.
I mean, you saying it.
No, I don't need that white privilege.
This dude's white as fuck.
See what they call you? I'm hanging out with them.
I don't care.
You proud of it?
It don't matter. It don't bother me.
I don't see color.
All right, shit,
I don't
man.
see color. I don't see color because we all should be treated the
I'll tell you
same.
why. Because this, it don't mean nothing to me.
What, bro? That's a disgrace to your
It's not
ancestors.
to disgrace my ancestors.
It is.
Because my ancestors believed in God.
We've had a good conversation up
I know.
until this point.
I know.
Where
I
you
get it.
talking about you don't care about your skin color and it don't mean
Because guess
nothing.
what? This skin color don't go with me to heaven or hell.
No, the words
man, they do.
of me doesn't matter to him, is what he's saying.
Huh?
The words of me does not matter to him.
No,
is what
he
he's
said
saying.
he said his skin color don't matter. That's a slap
Because
in the
God
face to our
doesn't see that,
ancestors.
bro.
My skin is
He
my
believes in
identity.
God.
That's not who I am.
That is who you are.
My skin is not who I am.
Bro, don't be
My
speaking
character.
this. Now you speaking this religion stuff to me.
Well,
and
that's
I'm not,
that's
I'm
part
not
of living.
religious.
It's religion and
I'm
God.
not religious. I'm literally here talking about your skin color, bro.
I know,
and you
but-
say your skin color don't matter to you.
I'm saying it's
That's
not
a
my
slap
identity.
in your-
That's not
That's a
who I
slap in the
am.
face, bro, to your ancestors that fought for you.
My
for your
dad
rights.
was a freedom rider, bro.
Okay, well then you should respect that.
And he knows that his skin color isn't who he is. He knows that.
What makes you?
That's
What
not what
makes you
makes
who
me.
you are?
It's not
Is it
what
your
makes
skin
you.
color?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. That's
but
what I'm
you
saying.
said your skin color didn't matter. That's
not-
two different things. It don't make you.
It don't make me.
It don't make you, but your skin color matters.
But what I think
Because
he's
when-
saying is his skin color doesn't matter because he believes in God, and God doesn't give a shit what color he is.
No.
He cares about what's in his heart. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
That's what he's saying.
Period.
I think he loves God, bro.
Yeah.
That's
God,
what it means.
God is awesome. That's the only thing that that's how we're going to survive.
We need
One
to figure
nation.
that out, right?
Because I think he's up there, and to be frank,
Okay.
God isn't trying to.
Hey, you're right.
Religion is just written by
Yeah,
way back.
I go with him.
Yes, white. Yeah,
So you're saying that the Hebrews were white?
they were. It was written, right? It was written back then, and times have like changed a lot, and it just. Doesn't,
Do you believe in God?
It's not.
Do I believe in God? Yep, but I'm not religious.
That makes sense.
I'm not religious.
I'm that way.
So you said you was a Christian and you are convert. You are. He is the conservative Christian, and he said he ain't religious.
He's not.
How ain't you
Religion has
religious?
nothing
Because
to
you
do
are
with
picking a
No, you said you
religion.
believe in
from
God, so
God.
you should know what religion means.
I don't even have to matter. I believe in God. I don't go to church. You know what
I
I'm
don't either.
saying?
Well, I do go to church.
I don't go to church. I'm a faith-based person. I told you that. But you said that you was a Christian. That is religion.
What's Christian?
No.
Christianity.
You believe in God is not a religion. It's a personal relationship that you have with Jesus in your heart.
When I'm talking to a
That's
black
not
man,
religion.
please don't interrupt.
So I'm a Christ follower. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. Which Christian made the religion based off that. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ.
So it's Christianity.
If you want to call it. I mean, that's man-made.
Off of Christ.
Off of Christ. I follow Christ.
Christianity.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man.
I'm saying you can call it. That's what people made it.
Bro, I'm
That's
confused
not-
as fuck myself.
That's not that. The world has made religions Catholic, Christian.
Oh, yeah.
But Jesus said, when he walked the earth, he said, "Follow me." Plain and simple.
Simple. Yeah.
Plain and simple. Follow me. That's what he said. See, so, and that's fine. But see, this is also the problem that's going on in our society and our world. We have this going on.
See,
where
man,
God
I'm
don't
not even here
exist.
to talk about religion. I'm here to talk
And now
about
we're
how
kicking
life
God out, but
matters. Do y'all matter if we put Black Lives Matter flags in the
We want
school?
every other thing to be included.
change
We
the
want
flag?
F God.
What do we need to change it to?
There's a Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Like what?
Just not that one.
Don't you have the consequences?
Make up your own brand.
Can't be.
What, like what? What it
Because that
is?
one has
in the world.
a Marxist
What we're
agenda.
dealing with right now in the world.
I don't like that one.
What we're dealing with right now.
And
in
you
the
guys
world.
aren't with that, right?
We know-
Did I hear you say that
We're
earlier?
not with the organization, no.
So, she wants a new flag.
Do we
It
need,
does create Marxism. Yes.
do we just need to change the font?
Religion for things to get
Just
better.
change it up a little bit.
Just the font.
You can change it up a little bit.
So if we change the font of Black Lives Matter, she'd be okay with us putting the flag of the school.
It's not that Marxist flag.
Is there something about the font that triggers you?
They think that we part of the organization when we do it like the organization. So we change the font.
So yeah, if
Yes.
Okay,
if
so
we
do you-
change the font, we can put it in the schools?
and then put it on.
I mean, yeah, because I agree with that Black Lives Matter. I
There we
absolutely
go.
agree with that.
Okay.
I just, like I said, I'm here.
We are making progress.
There's nothing not to disagree with that.
I've always believed that. I mean, the thing is, I would say across the street was that it was a Marxist
Organization. It's not a movement.
The organization
Listen,
is a Marxist. The organization is a Marxist. Yes.
It's not the movement, because everybody that say Black Lives Matter is not part of the organization.
Right.
I'm not part of the organization even though I say Black Lives Matter. You see what I'm saying? So me wanting to put a Black Lives Matter flag in a school or LGBTQ flag in a school.
Yeah, but you know what that's saying, bro? That's it's like saying I just dress in all blue and go down to fucking Lombard and say I'm not a Crip. Fucking don't shoot me.
Lombard
But
is
no,
in
you're
Crip
like-
territory. There's
but
no
you know-
Crip
Not no
territories
more.
or blood.
Listen, I just picked the street, bro.
You see what I'm saying? But yeah, we need to.
You know what I'm saying,
we need
though?
to be inclusive.
Yeah.
Can we be inclusive?
That's what she's saying.
That's all we asking.
That's what she's saying.
Can we be inclusive?
Of course, I love inclusion.
Okay.
But can we include God in the school too? And the Pledge of Allegiance?
No, the Pledge of Allegiance. Listen,
That's what here.
the Pledge of Allegiance is inaccurate. We are not. It is not justice for all. Where's the justice for us?
Don't you? Right, but don't you want it to be justice for all?
No, and you know
Including
what?
You, everybody.
That
all.
that also is like some cult shit to force people to stand up and say the Pledge of Allegiance when they don't actually agree with it.
But we should be
I never
forced
stood up
to
in
look at
school
a
and
Black
said it.
Lives Matter flag or make our
Forced
kids
to look
look
at
at
a, we're forced to look at a mirror. I like how you have your flag upside down.
Yeah,
too.
because
You know
we're
what I'm saying?
distressed. This is
Yup.
a distressed
Yep,
nation.
I like that. I'm with that. So if we want to turn all the flags upside down, then we can be forced to
I
look
would be
at them.
for it right now.
You know what I'm saying?
I would be
Listen,
for it right now.
I don't want to be forced to look at an American
nation's
flag
under
every
attack by
day,
China.
but it is there. I'm not complaining about it, but people are complaining about a Black Lives Matter or LGBT.
You don't think that's different?
Do I what?
You don't think that's different?
It's
You don't
different.
think that the BLM flag is different than the American flag, like it represents two different things? One represents unity under one nation under God, and another one represents one certain group of people.
That's what I'm saying. That's contradictory to what it actually is, though, because it isn't.
But there's still, you are still yet to prove any laws that are currently against your race right now, currently. There's no laws that are against your race specifically that are written in the book right now.
The whole I mean, what do you mean, man? There's everything that's written against us.
What law exactly, though?
I got done telling you there's systems that are against us.
What
You
if,
know what I'm
what if,
saying?
You're
okay,
saying laws, he's saying systems. So it's two different things. You guys are saying two different things.
but you're saying you want to amend laws, you want to write bills
You wanna know what
that make your
What is it? The 14th Amendment that
Lincoln?
slavery.
Yeah, jail slavery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Jail
understand.
labor, you know
I
what I'm
understand.
saying? Like that's,
Yeah.
that's against us right there.
Yeah, but that's against all prisoners. That's not just black people.
But
And you're saying I understand.
Go back to
I understand.
Who is the higher population.
I understand. I understand you're gonna say that. So okay. So is there maybe some blame on both sides of the spectrum though?
Like what?
I think. I think a lot of what's going on right now on either side of the spectrum, race excluded, I think parenting is a huge issue. I do.
Sure.
I do. And I think both white and black people are teaching their kids really really bad things right now on both political spectrums even. So do you think that there's some blame in parenting and raising your children differently? And maybe teaching them that white people are bad and hateful is maybe not a good step in that direction, right?
But we're not teaching that white people are bad and hateful, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's kind of what critical race theory is, though. It kind of is.
It is. Yeah. If you're white, you're racist.
No, that's not it. That's not it at all.
I've read a whole bunch of the literature.
You can have that literature, but the thing is I'm a black person that lives this shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, he's talking about the critical race theory stuff that they're teaching in the schools now.
I ain't never seen it. What is?
Well, they're trying to indoctrinate it into the schools right now in all of the outlying counties around Portland.
I'd have to look at it to be able to.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
I'll look into it. But the thing is anytime we bring up racist, you know what I'm saying, or racism, y'all feel like y'all gotta hop on the defense.
I don't.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't. There's racists in our system.
Yeah.
There's racist police. There's racist ordinary citizens. There's racist governors. There's racist mayors. There's racist legislators. There's racist house reps. There's racist senators. There's racist judges. There's racist DAs. The system is not racist, though.
And the system is racist.
No, it isn't, because the system is all inclusive under all people. The people in the system are making our laws.
Held by white supremacy. It is built against us.
But I know of cases specifically where black judges have ruled in favor of a DA.
Hold on, I got a question.
Do you see what I'm saying, though? In the case of I hate making it the race thing, but that's what we're.
President if we're so racist? No, I'm serious. If we're so racist, how come we got so many votes?
That's like that motherfucker. I got one black friend. I ain't racist. You know what I'm saying? Cool.
So what if I said this? I got 5 black uncles. I got 12 black cousins. I went over here to Redland, and those were some racist motherfuckers, and we kicked ass every fucking day. But yet I'm white, so I'm racist, right?
I didn't say you was racist. I'd have to be able to know you a little bit more and see things that you do to be able to call you racist.
It's good. I like that.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
I do.
But if you do something, then I'm going to call you racist.
Good. You'll never call me a racist, bro.
I say that showing up to protest this shit is kind of racist.
You think this is okay?
But you don't know why
I can see how you would think it was racist, but I'm not here because I'm racist. I'm here because I don't want to see that in the classroom. I think it should be non-biased, not political. I think that
it's not political though. So don't get us confused with the organization. You know what I'm saying? So you said you don't want the flag in the school. Is that what you just said?
Either of those flags, yeah.
Why though?
I just don't think it's appropriate.
So you're not inclusive.
No, because that's what the American flag is for, is all inclusivity.
But it's supposed to be, but they're saying it's not.
I understand. I understand. And we're still circling back to that same question. What laws are being made right now that are suppressing black Americans right now?
I go back to saying it's inclusive because of you can't go to different countries and do what we do. We don't have the freedoms that we have here in America. Period. You can't go to no other countries. And
have you ever been to another country?
That's why everybody's leaving other countries and coming here.
Yeah, like my parents did.
Have you ever been to another country? No?
You haven't been to another country?
Okay.
Have you been to another country?
Have you?
Yeah.
You have? I don't want to put you on the spot if you don't want to be, but which one?
My aunt's Filipino.
Russians, Koreans, Asians, Hispanics, they're all leaving. Come here.
Yeah. It's a little awkward now.
Sorry. I'm fat. I'm always hungry.
Oh my God.
It's a fact.
And Jake, there don't have to be laws set in place that actually hold us oppressive. It's the whole system that's against us, that's oppressing us. Like I said, school to prison pipeline, you know what I'm saying? Police officers started off being slave catchers, you know what I'm saying? Like all of that. Not being able to have proper health care, you know what I'm saying? Like all of that is against this. It's a system type of thing that is racist and oppressive to us. And yes, you can't have laws that are blatantly put in place right now that show that they're oppressing us as people, because the whole system is oppressing us. I know it's hard for you to understand.
No, I'm comprehending it. No, I understand. I'm with you. I'm with you. I understand what you're saying.
He's trying to get it. That's the thing. Is he trying to get it?
No, because I'm not out here to, and that's what I'm trying to say is I'm not out here to. I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm really.
Said that you're here
I know,
to hurt, but
or
you're
hurt
here to
feelings or anything. I really do want to listen, because that's what I think is missing right now. Is there's a lot of this and not a lot of. We have 2 ears and one mouth.
For sure, but
and
y'all came to protest the flags actually being in the school is why y'all came here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is a racist type of
And so why did you
ideology
come
of not
out here?
being inclusive.
Why did you guys come out?
Because I want to make sure, because I live in this school district, I live in this area. I want to make sure the people that live in this area are being included, the school is being inclusive, and that we have equity in the schools. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that my black and brown people that go to these schools have opportunity or feeling like they're welcome, because my kids come from North Clackamas School District, where they was being called nigger on almost a weekly basis, you know what I'm saying? And kids was standing up on school desks, you know what I'm saying, singing
That's
slave
not okay.
songs to
That's
my
not
kids,
okay.
you know what
It's
I'm
not
saying?
okay.
So like, I want to make sure that we're changing that. Well, I want to make, like I said, man, I'm big on laws and legislation. So that's what I want to push for. I want to make sure that we're being inclusive to everybody.
And you think that flag represents
That flag represents you. We're talking about our Black Lives Matter flag represent us. The LGBTQ flag represent LGBTQ community. You know what I'm saying? So as long as we can do that, then we being inclusive. If everybody want to put their flag in, then we good.
So you'd be okay with the Trump flag and Proud Boy flag?
That's political.
And unfortunately,
I don't want a Biden flag in there. You see what I'm saying? I don't want a Biden flag.
And I would hope not at this point. But unfortunately,
I wouldn't want an Obama flag in there if you even want to say it like that.
Unfortunately, BLM has become very political, and they actually have their own funding.
That's you going back to the organization.
Yeah, well, and that when you post that flag
hard to
up,
figure out which side you're on.
Yeah.
You got the same flag. You know what I'm saying?
You want us to change the font?
Man,
I'm serious.
No, I'm serious. So
do y'all want us to change the font?
We want you to.
Okay.
Rebrand it.
We can change it. We still want the same colors. We wanted to, you know what I'm saying, say Black Lives Matter. We can change the font though. If y'all be acceptable of that, or we can agree on that, we'll change the font.
We just gotta change the fucking font.
Well, yeah, I mean that's.
Marjorie Green Taylor said we could change the font.
I don't know why you comparing her. I'm not even white.
Anybody got a picture of Marjorie Green Taylor?
Marjorie Green Taylor.
Yeah, I want to know. Google that
People
shit.
say it looks like Kamala Harris. Now you're talking about Marjorie Green Taylor.
No, you don't. It's okay. You don't. You're fine.
I'm half Indian, so
you're completely okay. You're okay.
I gotta see that.
That's a compliment. I don't want to look like her.
Oh, it's Marjorie Taylor Greene. My bad.
Oh, it's what's her face?
Oh, yeah.
Governor lady.
Yeah, the white. I look nothing like her.
Oh, what? Oh, come on. Come on.
Nothing like her. I don't even know. Sorry.
Resemblance a little bit. I was across the street when I called you that.
You just thought of a politician you didn't like, huh?
I saw her across the street. I said she resembled her. Alright. We agree we changing the font. Y'all good with that shit. Vote for it, you feel me?
Bring God in the schools.
Nah, man, I'm not religious.
Yep. Inclusive. Inclusive.
It's
not political.
Listen.
Bring God.
Listen.
Buddhism.
The Pledge of Allegiance says
Jewish
justice for
culture.
all.
Bring all the religions in if that's what you want to do.
Black people are not
bringing all
getting
religions in.
justice.
Right.
God. You just want to bring God in.
You guys, we're bringing BLM and everything, and pride. I mean, that's sexual. That has nothing to do with politics.
If it's not accurate in the United States.
Nobody
Well, so is Christian, right? Christian's identity. My identity's in Christ. My identity's in Christ.
I still want it. I can still believe it. I want it.
My identity is in Christ. Identity, right? Identity. Pride is identity, right?
It is.
My identity is in Jesus Christ. Identity.
But why
That's
do
who I
you
am.
want it in the school?
Yep.
Nowhere.
I don't know.
Who the sun sets free is free indeed.
I
Yes.
mean, I'm 41 years old.
I'm
I'm
37.
I don't know why you just told me that. I don't know what that means.
I know you don't.
Like, you look young.
I was going to say
not a Bible
You're how old? Shut up. No, you're not. No, you're not. Get out of here.
This is my son.
You look, damn.
I ain't got no wrinkles. Black don't crack.
Oh my
I
god.
got oily skin, so.
Isn't that privilege? Isn't that privilege though?
There you go, man. There you go, man. Hey, good conversations. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? It's getting chippy out here. Are you ready?
Thank you so much. Yes. He's so cold. He's so cold.
She's about to get a hug. Ah, see? There you go.
Pretty good stuff.
Shit out of me. I'm not even gonna lie, I jumped. He caught me.
He's an anarchist.
Okay, guys. I think this is pretty much coming to a close. I don't really want to film anymore. Just kind of get the camera out of people's faces and let them talk. Productive conversations today. We'll give a few shout outs in the chat. James, just living the life. Maria, the guy that stopped told me to stop streaming was the guy that was in the hat that was talking to us. Yeah, I mean, I guess he changed his view, but thank you everyone for stopping by. OKC, Amy, Susie, Becky, Betty, Taryn, Bonnie, James, Maria, Andrew, OKC, Obsidian, Railroad, J.Co., DeVito, Jody, Sean, over on Facebook, the Facebookers, Michael, Kay Bridges, Jen Decker over on Facebook, Mr. Toad over on YouTube, Marla, Martina, Spawny, Debbie, all the mods, thank you. Not just Spawny, just living the life, everybody else. Bambi, Susan, Sean, Dr. Sunny, PhD, Jitsu Face, Lisa, Janine, Angela. We got a lot of people in the chat tonight. Dolly Swan, KDG, Maria, John, Maria again over on Facebook, Danielle, so many people, Kayla, Susan, Ron, Denise. Thank you everybody for showing up. Appreciate it. These are the types of conversations we need, the types of dialogue that we have to open up. I think it is super important what happened today. So I'm gonna end the stream now, go over and try and have a couple conversations, and I'm gonna head home. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much, everyone who showed up, participated in the chat.